family of Methodist schools in Singapore has a long and illustrious history, but very humble beginnings. From the arrival of the first Methodist missionaries in 1885, it was a priority to provide education for the children where there was none. Our oldest school, Anglo-Chinese School, was started in 1886 with 13 children and now has 6 members in the ACS family: ACS Independent, ACS Primary, ACS Junior, Anglo-Chinese Junior College, ACS Barker, and ACS International. In 1887, Tamil Girls' School was started with just 9 girls, but today it is the Methodist Girls' School. Similarly, Fairfield Methodist School, Geylang Methodist School, Paya Lebar Methodist Girls' School, and St. Francis Methodist School were all started to serve the needs of the community and continue to provide a holistic education for all the students, regardless of background or religious affiliation. The boys and girls who pass through the halls are encouraged to pursue excellence in every area of their lives, be it academics, sports, aesthetics, or community contributions. At the heart of it all is the mission to nurture each new generation of students to be men and women of godly character and integrity. Schools create safe spaces for their students to explore, learn, fail, and grow. In such a space, our teachers play a critical part. Relationships are key in connecting with the students, allowing us to meet their needs, nurture them as individuals, and grow their aspirations to fulfill their potential and making a difference to their world.
Being in a mission school is quite different. We ground all our children in Christian values. We have chapel, we teach them about God's word. This is all moral education, indeed it is, but ours is founded on the Bible. Then as we grow older, I think the application starts taking root. The values are already grounded in us, and this is what we desire for every child who goes through the Methodist schools.
There is this sense of belonging. It's a family. And there's a distinctive spirit in the school, like the traditions, the ethos of nurturing students, molding their minds, right? Trying to impart Christian values and values for life, like humility, justice, ethos, ethics, integrity, courage. It's a good feeling because it is distinctive to our school.
The Methodist school landscape also bears the familiar presence of our chaplains and Christian ministry staff, who are there to share biblical truths, provide counsel and pastoral support wherever necessary, focusing on the students' personal and spiritual development, and providing strong support for the troubled students and their families.
Being in Geylang Methodist was also a faith-based school, so there were a lot of principles and foundational values to learn. But I think the value of being here is also how there's a fixed allocated time to have inspiration, have reflections, have prayers. And I think those were points where it was good times to kind of sit down and recollect what has happened in the day and kind of think about, as a very young person, being very easily distracted, think about what's the bigger purpose and meaning of what you're seeing and understanding it all. Yeah. In terms of the exposure of things that I saw and versus understanding them, and also seeing things from the way of truth and seeing things from how sometimes in the darkest of hours there's a light that shines through. So we've seen how my peers in school at the point of time that were bullied always struggled to confide in anyone, but eventually with the help of faith and times that we shared together reflecting really help overcome that.
It's like a village, housing a very big family with members who bond over fellowship and doing things together. So it is a big family, and there is this feeling of belonging, which I think is the hallmark of the school in that sense because of the spirit there.
In a sense, the spirit of belonging is very much part of the Methodist school tradition. During the time of John Wesley, who was the founder of Methodism, the school was seen as a means to improve one's future and opportunities in life. Wesley, being as much an educator as a preacher, believed that not only was the school a place to build future leaders of character and responsibility, but that it was also a place open to all, regardless of background or circumstances in life. He set up schools for the poor and personally saw to raising the quality of education. In order to raise the quality of education, we provide the best facilities and equipment that we can afford, to create conducive learning environments and provide opportunities for our teachers and students to develop their passions and talents. To reach these goals, we often utilize another talent Methodist schools are known for: fundraising.
Methodist schools are constantly in this round of fundraising. So much so that our children, our teachers, our principals, they know once you're in a Methodist school, part of the learning, part of the growing up years, it's always about fundraising. Why? It's all about paying it forward. When I was in Fairfield, I had great facilities too then. We all recognized that what we had then was because of the generation of students before us who raised funds, to say build our art hall or our special Chancellor hall. And then so when it's our turn, we then pay forward for the next generation. So this is how we keep growing as a community.
In the modern context, there is also strong emphasis on higher values of developing wider perspectives, critical thinking skills, perseverance, and problem solving in the context of highly engaged communities. Being involved in fundraising activities provides many opportunities for our students to internalize these values for themselves.
I think kids, when you go through a carnival, you have to cook for a fun fair, organize games for a fun fair. You have a lot of fun, but in the process, you learn so much about teamwork, about resilience, about going out there to sell, to go and lay long all your goods on the day itself. Rain or shine on the fun fair day, you still have to make it happen.
Everyone who has ever been part of a Methodist school in Singapore will remember their time there. Whether they were students, teachers, non-teaching staff, principals, or parents, or a combination of these. If you are about to enter a Methodist school, whether to wear its uniform or to teach in its classrooms, we welcome you and look forward to you being part of our tradition and our family.